So after watching Liam's video on why he thinks Beastmoon is so toxic, that has inspired me to create this video on why I think Beastmoon is toxic. Or is it really toxic? Is it just criticism? Let's find out. So I've been playing Beastmoon for a year, where I've been converted from a Beastmoon hater to a Beastmoon addict and making guides on how to play Beastmoon because there is a lot to learn. So I have seen my fair share of toxicity in Beastmoon. I think 60% of it is the player's fault and 40% of it is Kingsisle's fault. Let's cover the player's fault first because it will help explain why it is also Kingsisle's fault later on. The root of where the toxicity lies comes from noob players not knowing how to play. When players give them advice on how to play their form, they tell them to shut the fuck up, mind your own business. I chose this form, not you, so let me play it how I want to play and focus on your own game. I've seen that so many times where noobs refuse to take advice on how to play their form effectively. Or noobs refuse to listen to guidance on where they have to be in the map. They want to play very one-dimensionally and they don't want to change their form. All of those refusal to listen makes the player frustrated that the team is kind of backseating them when we're just trying to work, when we're just trying to communicate, and then they end up just leaving the game because they don't want to get backseated even though they are the problem to the team. I also think as a Beastmoon community, you can't get mad at noob players because you should expect to be paired up with noobs if you team with randoms. I think as a Beastmoon community, we really have to detach ourselves from trying to win our games. The whole purpose of Beastmoon is to gain points to either complete your progress bar or to get your Scroll of Fortune points or to win all 3 waves to get the 6 moon gold dust. But like, you are going to end up winning a game anyways, so once you do win that game, like, you don't really need to win anymore. I think as a Beastmoon community, just stop focusing on winning. That is not the point of Beastmoon. You only get 5 extra points on winning. Like, you don't gain anything, you don't gain a rank. There's no point in winning in Beastmoon. The whole focus is just to gain points, and you can control the amount of points you get by going inside more battles, whether that's in Hunt or Mayhem. Now let's cover why 40% of toxicity is Kingsisle's fault. And that is because they have not yet introduced a practice mode of Beastmoon. That means the noobs have no way of knowing how to play, ultimately creating a toxic environment when players get mad at them for not knowing how to 2v2, not knowing how to 3v2. But how the hell are they supposed to know how to do those if also Kingsisle doesn't promote Beastmoon guides, and the only thing that they have is this Beastmoon Monster Mayhem when you click on the thumbnail in the carousel, and all that it tells you is that the creatures spawn on the map, you defeat the mobs when you defeat it, a boss spawns in the middle, like when you finish the first wave you move on to the second wave, there's cards outside. It doesn't tell you 3v2, it doesn't tell you 2v2, it doesn't tell you that every game a map switches, it doesn't tell you that there's a time clock, it doesn't tell you about turn order, advantage, it doesn't tell anything a noob needs to know when they enter Beastmoon for the first time. I've contacted Wizard101 on Twitter to try to feature my guide on this website because it literally doesn't tell you anything. It just shows you screenshots, which I don't know how this is helpful. This is not helpful to a noob player. I think Kingsisle really should promote some videos on this page. I've been making them guides. I know that one of my guides was promoted. I don't know how to access where it was promoted, but it was promoted somewhere. But like, it's not the right place to promote it. This is the right place to promote it. Now, I don't know if this guide shows up when you do click on the Beastmoon thumbnail for Beastmoon Hunt, and this is a better introduction. It is very long though. I don't know if someone's gonna read all of it, but they really need to like feature one of like this like a YouTube guide at the very top or something, because I don't know, man, is someone really gonna scroll and read all of this? They just need to promote Beastmoon better. So then, as a Beastmoon community, you cannot blame noobs when they don't know how to play, because there is no practice mode to know how to play, and there's no practice mode to make mistakes, so they have to make the mistakes in the actual game, but making those mistakes sacrifices the entire game. So it is both the community fault and Kingsisle's fault, and I think like honestly, maybe it's like a 50-50 between Kingsisle's fault and the player's fault for Kingsisle not being able to introduce a practice mode or like a safe space where people can learn how to play the different forms effectively, or how to even navigate the map. And even us players who do play Beastmoon, we don't even know what map we are playing in once we get inside the queue. There really needs to be a practice mode of Beastmoon where in the practice mode you can see what map it is, and you can like navigate outside where all the cards, outside cards are. You can play different forms. You can play the free forms and you can play the not free forms. You can test out different strategies. There needs to be a safe space for Beastmoon, because the Beastmoon that we have currently is not a safe space. As such, Beastmoon is very chaotic, very not player friendly, and when noobs enter the game, they get scared away with how mean the community is, and they're trying to learn, but you can't learn because there's no safe space to learn. Overall, it's both Kingsisle and the player's fault that Beastmoon is so toxic, and Kingsisle can improve it, and players can improve their attitude and their perspective on not needing to win every single game.